bigger outlets take information from us and use it as their own. And you guys like when they say it, but
Sure.
we said it first. All right, guys, welcome back to your favorite podcast for all 222 of you guys who have subscribed to us on YouTube, as well as the 39 people who have followed us on Spotify. We're super grateful for you. Hey, Gary Woodland, amazing win at the Texas Open, man. Probably one of the top two most inspirational wins this year. We're going to talk about all that. But, guys, I'm Jeremy Davis, former NFL player and host of the best YouTube golf show. You need to go check it out right now. Well, not right now. Listen to this and then go check it out. But it's called Golf and Gospel. So just go on YouTube, type in Golf and Gospel, and see me compete against some professionals, some athletes, some businessmen, creators for 9 holes as we share the gospel and entertain. And who is this? It's the best co-host on any podcast platform you can ask for. Excuse me. The former Nebraska Cornhusker golfer and the best PT in all the Southwest, my dog, Nate Wong. So again, guys, please like, subscribe, share, comment, man. Even if we get 12 views, I need to see 12 comments. Like, help us out, man. Let's push this thing out. Because again, bigger outlets take information from us and use it as their own. And you guys like when they say it, but
Sure.
we said it first. So lock in with us, man. Let's talk about some things we're going to go over, man. We're going to review the Houston Open as well as make some takes on the Valero because there are a lot of people who are right outside the Masters that need to win this week. Also, we're going to talk about, which is not necessarily breaking news anymore, but Tiger Woods gets a DUI. What does this mean for him preparing for the Masters? What does this mean for his legacy? Also, we're going to break down this weekend on the LPGA, which is currently still going on just like last week. Unfortunately, on the West Coast, so that kind of conflicts with me and Nate's timestamp. But once they get on the East, we'll be able to recap things a little bit more. But very fun time at the LPGA event, the Ford Championship this week in Arizona. And we're also going to predict the first inaugural tournament for the LPGA in Las Vegas. And we're going to have a special guest from the Epson Tour, who's a first-time winner on the Epson Tour, be on the channel as well. And lastly, for our gospel portion, we're going to talk about being patient before a breakthrough. So again, repeating myself, like, subscribe, share, follow us, all things. Even if you hate us, dog, like I said, say something in the comments like, hey, bro, y'all trash because y'all couldn't remember the stat line, or you guys are doing really good because, like, man, you guys recall some good things. Maybe you hate our voice. Whatever it is, make a comment. We can get better or we can be encouraged. All right, Nate, let's go over to the PGA. Gary Woodland, man, what a weekend for him, man. Gets his first win in 7 years since he won the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach. Had a tournament record of 259 strokes, beating Minwoo Lee, who had 260 last year when he won. Nate, I want to know, how did you assess Gary Woodland in his weekend and his victory?
Dude, I mean, I feel like it's hard to get over his whole health thing, and then like his wife being there, and it was just like you said, truly inspirational, and so I'm very happy. I think everybody is kind of a fan of Gary Woodland after the whole health and like it was a brain tumor or something like that, or something with his brain.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for him. It kind of felt like everybody was playing for second, though. I think he was leading early on. I think Friday he had the lead since Friday.
Yeah. I think at one point he was up maybe 7 strokes, but I think he ended up winning by 6 strokes.
Yeah, he won by like 5, over 5. But yeah, it really felt like everybody was playing for second, and I think he's just such a savvy golfer, probably because he's a veteran, that he's not going to give it up. He's just going to hang on to that lead. So, I mean, very impressed. It's he's the classic stinger kind of player. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great for him, man. I mean, Gary Woodland became the 7th 40-year-old to win this event, 8th in this all-time. And he, again, had the largest margin victory. He set a course record with 259 strokes.
That's
I was
crazy,
super, and he's 41 years old. I was super impressed with him off the tee, man. He was really, like, sending it. In Houston, the Houston Open looks like it plays a little straight, nothing too difficult. There are some certain landing spots that can get you in trouble, but he was bombing off tee. Also, it's good that we watched this because this gives us a nice overview before the Chevron Championship, because this is where the LPGA is going to be playing at that same exact course. Long hitters are definitely going to pay dividends at this course. But super impressive with Gary Woodland. Gets a win, gets into the Masters too, man. And very emotional, super happy for him. He talked about a lot of things he dealt with mentally, obviously dealing with the PTSD from all the brain surgeries and stuff, man. So for him to just have the heart to overcome that, the will to overcome it, was super impressive. And I think he just did good playing like mistake-free golf. Even you were talking about, was it hole 15 where we saw uh, Nicola Hogard? He messed up his chip and he came back downhill, I believe. Minwoo
Yeah,
Lee
Minwoo.
chipped it and he had to re-putt it. Gary Wood was the only one that like played it safe, got on the green, and then like it made it look his par was made a lot easier. Oh, and here we go. We got our special guest, dog, my homie, Epson
Yo,
Tour, Epson Tour winner. Let's clarify. I asked, like last time I
dude.
had it was like Epson Tour Pro. It's winner now. Yes, Oklahoma State's finest. Yes, and we're not talking about Victor Hovland. We're talking about my
Yeah,
dog, Maddie McCrary. Maddie, thank you for taking the time to come on here, man. Yes, I want to let you know right now. When I was watching, well, I wasn't watching the episode tour, but when I was keeping up with it, I see you have a one-stroke lead. I'm refreshing the page over and over and over, and nothing was updating. And I'm like, bruh, like, did she win? Is this going into the playoff? Like, what is happening? I'm going on the Epson Tour IG page, refreshing the page. I'm not seeing your picture pop up yet. I'm like freaking out right now. And then eventually you got the victory. So first off, just tell me about the experience. You know, it took you 8 years. You became a pro in 2018. Finally get a victory in 2026. Just tell me about the process of finally getting your first victory.
Yeah, I mean it's been a long journey. I've won on a smaller scale. I've won on the WAPT before, and that was great. But it's also just been a dream of mine to just win on a bigger stage. First 2 years turning professional, I wanted to win on the LPGA. Didn't really work out there. I was very humbled. Came down to the Epson Tour.
No.
Just had some.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, but until we get her back, yeah. So, Gary Willen played amazing at the Houston Open. I will say, assessing some other PGA players, Jake Knapp played well, but he did his historic like Jake Knapp thing. He shoots low mid 60s the first two rounds, shoots like I think either 71 or 73 between there. Comes back, shoots a low round 62. Oh, and she's back. She's back again, guys. This is
you're good.
recorded, so it's not like live,
Get it.
but still, yes. No, you're good, man. So much grace is given. So yeah. So go back to just like the process. You want to win on a bigger scale. You ended up winning this week, but yeah, just take us through that.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a difficult past couple years. I've been working with my coach, really, really difficult, for a very long time, and we've had a lot of success, but nothing to where I've been able to win. And I feel like just like the urgency to win was always there. I was like, I'm getting older. I just turned 30 this year, and I'm just like, hey, like I need to prove myself. But this past week was ultra peaceful. Um, I had a lot of opportunities to make a lot more birdies last week, but I didn't feel like the need to like, "Oh, you should have made that. Like, oh, now this is gonna happen. I didn't really
Mm,
feel like the consequence of it. I stayed within my process and just keep hitting good shots. If they didn't go in, they didn't go in. But I wasn't like freaking out if I missed this 10 footer per birdie. It was just, I was telling people of just about that week. It was just been, it's very, very peaceful. I don't think I've ever been so sound on the golf course before, and it's honestly been such a blessing.
that's also you. Obviously, you talked about doing some things with your coach. Man, why does this keep happening? Unfortunately, more technical difficulties, man. So we pray the Lord obviously works through the technology of what's going on and give her some consistent network, I guess, whatever the word I'm looking for here.
Dang it. It's
Yeah,
like we should just do like 30 seconds at a time when we sketch it. When she
right.
gets back on, be like, all right, real quick, answer this real quick. All right.
Yeah, probably. Dang. Anyways, I guess going back to Jake Knapp, I'm sorry. Like, I think he
Yeah.
played well. I think he's someone to definitely look out when we get into the Masters. It's just a thing. Can Jake Knapp do it all 4 days? And when he does do it all 4 days, can he have a good stretch from 15 to 18? Because we see him do things like, oh, bogey, par, and then eagle the last hole to get like a fifth. So was still impressed with Jake Knapp with what he did, as well as Minwoo Lee played well. I think he ended up finishing either T3 or solo third. Um, just found himself in a trouble off the tee box a few times, but it's really fun to see Minwoo Lee be way more consistent than I personally have seen him historically in his golf game. He's always been a guy that's had a high ceiling but hasn't lived up to it, and I think he's having an incredible year this year. And I'm very hopeful for him going into the Masters as well. And
What about Hoygaard, dude? That guy was balling
yeah,
out.
he was. And I think the same thing with Minwoo Lee. He got a little wayward off the tee as well because he was only one stroke back starting in the Sunday. So I had my dog's back. We're on the phone now, I'm assuming.
Yes.
We're on the phone.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So back to the homie. So, Maddie, one thing, like I said, I probably know you for about 2.5 years now. You talked about obviously working with your coach and trying to figure some things out. I want to take us back a little bit. So, when we shot our episode of Golf and Gospel, you were just coming fresh off of Q school. I think you didn't make it in the final stage, or you got
Y-
cut in the final stage. Same
Yeah.
thing happens again this year. I want you to take us through like what wasn't working and what were you fixate on to fix to make sure your golf game gets better for the upcoming Epson Tour season.
Yeah, so this past tour school, I got through second stage and my game felt really good. Like I was on a high, went back home, and we had from second stage to final stage, we had about a month or so off. And so it's just all this waiting. I was like a lot of playing, a lot of practicing, and I went into tour school, be like, whatever happens, happens. Um, and one of my best friends, he was sick during that time period, like very, very ill. And it was just a really tough time going through that and then also trying to compete to try and get my LPGA card. And that week was really tough, but I knew I needed to just stay really, really peaceful and calm on the golf course this past year. This off season, I've been working on breathing a lot. I don't know why breathing has worked so well. It never worked in the past for me, but for whatever reason, it's worked really, really well. This time I've figured out how to breathe. I'm working with a therapist. Got into a car accident a couple months ago, and we've been working through some things, having some trauma from that. Has honestly helped my breathing and helps my mental clarity of how to work through things, not just with the car accident and the death of my best friend, but
Mhm.
through golf. There's just been so much trauma. It was a very, very difficult off season. So just having this win and this victory has been made everything like really, really great. So
Yeah. Well, first off, we're definitely sorry to hear about your
thank
best friend. Unfortunately, sorry about the car accident. If there's anyone that can empathize with you, is my brother Nate over here. So Nate was well, in truthful, Nate played college golf in Nebraska. Was a really good high school golfer. He keeps saying he wasn't. I'm gonna always uplift him and say that he was. Unfortunately, he got into a terrible car accident, almost died.
you.
Praise God, the Lord spared him, and now he's here doing podcasts and still playing good golf, just on a professional level. But we know how well he knows how traumatic that can be. Um, I don't know if Nate, if you want to tell a little bit of that story about like just having the guts to get back behind the wheel and stuff. Because I know for a while you said you were nervous, and then one day you told your brother like, "I want to drive." You said you were driving really slow, but like you had to build up the courage to get back behind the wheel.
Dude. So real quick, just so everyone knows, it was a rollover accident. I had a skull fracture, so I broke my skull, and I don't
Mm.
remember any bit of the accident. But a lot of these counselors would come into my hospital room when I was recovering, and they're like, "Here's some stuff for PTSD." And I was like, "I don't remember any of it," but it was, I don't know why, but like just if I sat in the driver's seat of a car, I was like, "I can't drive," and it was. I was actually I went to like this FCA speaking tour, so I was speaking at some local high schools and stuff like that, and there was one of the football coaches who's kind of like a motivational speaker, super strong Christian. His name was Ron Brown. Like he was talking and everything, and then after we did our little talks and stuff like that and sharing our testimony, he's like, "Yeah, that's crazy testimony about you getting in a car accident and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, he starts asking me questions, and I admitted I'm like, I'm still afraid to drive, and he's like, "Nate, I think it's actually godly to face your fears, more or less." And then so when we got done with the speaking tour, the next morning I was driving to school, and my brother was like, I was like, "Aaron, just I'll drive. I'm gonna drive," and I just drove like 20 minutes to go to school, and it was a 5 minute drive. So
Well, that speaks a lot of courage from you. That
Yeah.
it's tough. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna go through any PTSD. I was on my way to San Antonio from Dallas, and I got halfway there and got into the accident, and then was waiting for my dad to come get me, and then drove that afternoon thinking it was nothing, and then boom, like not like a couple days later, just like PTSD. I could barely get behind the wheel of the car, like screaming violently. The Lord is getting me through it, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is funny because last week we talked about with Annabelle, we talked about Psalms 56:3. Yeah, it says, "When I'm afraid, I put my trust in the Lord." Sometimes our body doesn't react to that, but the more we keep practicing and walking that out, we'll feel his peace come over us, man. But I'm happy you're okay. I'm happy you got the victory. So I do want to get back to golf. One thing I saw, 1.94 strokes gained on approach was the key stat for you. How important was like the off season in regards to like wedge and iron play?
Yeah, me and my coach Rick, we've been working on like just some smaller swing changes, just tightening up the golf swing a lot more, keeping my arms in front of my body has always been a struggle for me. I like to get the right elbow way behind me, which causes my right shot. So definitely working on that has definitely improved my ball striking, hitting things a lot closer, hitting like 5 and 6 irons and hybrids a lot closer. It's not hitting these to like 30 and 40, 50 feet, but hitting them to like 20 to 15 occasionally. And then I had
Dang,
two birdies
long
on
irons
a
to
longer par
20.
five. Yeah.
You had two
So
birdies on a par five, you said?
what's that?
You said you had two birdies on a par five?
I might have had a few more, but no, I was saying that like I've had a couple 5 irons where I've hit it a lot closer to 20 to 30 feet and making those, which made like a huge difference. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's super amazing. I suck at long iron, so I need to probably go talk to your
Yeah,
coach so I
that's what
can
like
dial
long
my stuff
irons
in.
to 15 feet, 20 to 15 feet is hard. That's really hard to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. But yeah, that's just really what helped me during this off season. And then I really didn't miss too many greens. So capitalizing when I did hit it in there close or, two putting those 40 footers is really key.
Yeah, guys, if you don't know, she went bogey free whole weekend. So yeah, and that was
Really?
kind of the
Wow.
next. Yeah. That's the next question I have for you too. Tell us how you were able to accomplish a bogey free weekend. Was it the way the course was playing? You just kind of strategically knew where to miss, or was like I guess it goes back to like were you just reading the greens so precisely that your putter just got really hot?
Yeah, I kind of like knew where I needed to miss occasionally, but I we did have a lot of wedges in there too. So a couple of the par fours where I wanted to put it on the right side of the fairway rather than the left. Being pretty strategic with the driver and then with the irons, leaving myself below the hole a lot, not getting myself above the hole because they were quick when you got above the hole. So definitely just strategically putting the ball in play was definitely key to no bogeys.
Yeah, I think that's super important. I've had a lot of female golfer friends on here, and man, they emphasize the importance of short game. And I always say a lot of us when we go to the range, first thing we want to do is we want to go out there and just beat the driver. It's like, bro, we need to go putt and chip, man. And
Yeah.
that's where you're scoring. And then I mean, obviously, like again, we say iron play, wedge play is important. I mean, we'll shoot 1.94 strokes gain on approach.
Yeah.
I think we just need to learn how to reorganize our priorities in regards to how we practice. I mean, a guy like me, I still go and emphasize like driver 3 wood because I'm getting too many penalties off the tee. So I'm just trying to like just keep it in play
Yeah.
to give myself a 1.94 in approach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate, do you have any questions for Maddie? Because I can talk to her all day, but I'll give
Yeah.
you the floor.
Okay, so I saw you were you paired with the girl that got an eagle on 18?
Yes, yes, Marielle, she's so sweet.
So what was that like? Did she make the eagle before you made your birdie? And like, did you know like what you had to get done on that last hole to win?
Yeah, yeah, I was looking at the leaderboard on 16 and I know where I was kind of standing with her. So they moved the tee way up on 18, like one more than they already did the first 2 days. And so it was a reachable five. And as we were leaving the 17th green, the group in front of us was just leaving the tee because they haven't wait so long. So we both sat on the tee, and I'm sure the groups before us did too. We waited there for like 10 minutes,
No
and
wonder
that
why the app wasn't
explains why.
updated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, she hits it a little bit further than me on the second shot. So she made the eagle first, and then I hit it in there about 15 feet right below the hole. So I knew I just needed to two putt.
Okay.
And I lagged it up there a foot short. Could have hit it a little bit harder, but really wanted the eagle too. And her dad was rooting for me, but no, I knew where I stood, and it was nice to just finish with a nice little easy two putt birdie.
So I want you to
Yeah.
explain this, like even like for me, and like I said, golf and gospel is obviously nowhere on the scale of Epson Tour, but sometimes I get into these close matches where it comes down to the last hole. How do you? I mean, maybe the breathing thing is what plays a part, but how are you able to stay composed? Like, man, this girl just made an eagle, and not to get like flushed or like now I gotta like do something outside of what I typically do and try to like make the eagle as well. Like, how are you able to stay composed in that situation?
Yeah. I definitely do go back to breathing. I think that was really helpful for me that week, but I knew that there was nothing that I could do to, like, make her miss the putt. Like, I can only focus on my own game. Just sticking to the process. I'm using starting to use a little bit of a line on my ball this year while I'm putting, so that's been a little bit more calming in a sense, like, hey, like, I don't
Yeah.
need to feel like I need to, like, fidget over the golf ball, like, saying, "Oh, you're aimed too far left. Oh, no, you're aimed too far right," but, like, definitely just having confidence, like, "Hey, this is a straight putt. Hit it no matter where it goes, it's gonna,
Yeah.
you already have it lined up." So, that's definitely helps, and I'm using it on longer ones too, just to kind of know where my eyes are lined up and everything, trying to figure that out, to where my eyes and the line match, I guess I should say.
That's good. Sorry, Nick. I just know Max. I be having questions. So I remember like when
No,
we
go for it.
played, there were some. You were trying to experiment. Like, do I want to use a broom putter? Then you obviously went back to a regular putter. Well, what came to the final decision and what putter to use? And tell us about some of maybe your favorite putting drills that kind of helped you. Obviously, get better on the green. Obviously, you talked about drawing a line on the ball and stuff. I want to know if there's any other things for maybe amateur golfers who want to get better at putting like myself, which I think putting is my strong suit. But as of lately, I've been kind of wayward with putting too. But I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Cause I remember you had the broom for a little bit. And you were testing it out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I used the broomstick all of last year and I loved it. I did. I think it was a good change for me. I struggled over the short ones a lot. And the broomstick, you're standing up very tall, you're swinging it, it's just like a pendulum with kind of with your right hand. I loved it. I thought the short ones were super easy, but just towards the end of last year, towards tour school, I was like, okay, like putter's just like not working. Like I kind of started losing confidence in it. And I was like, we need to change. And so, a good friend of my coach's, Jeff Gibraltar, he's one of the best putters in the world, goes for putting competitions. Met him, and he was like, he helped me, through the end of the tour school with the broomstick. But he was like, hey, like, let's give a short putter a look. And I was like, okay. So I brought like six putters to him. I'm like, which one? The first one I showed up with, which was I've putted with in the past. It's just a little ping mallet putter and I love it. And we just did some simple setup changes. He was like, I don't know why you ever changed in the first place. And like, it's in between the ears. So we changed and it's been great. He did want me to go to a line just because my eyes and the line were not matching. I'm like, thinking that I'm aimed, a foot right of the hole, but I'm really aimed like 4 feet right of the hole. So using a line and just matching up the line with my eyes has been extremely helpful. I definitely tell amateurs for drills, just go on the putting green with with the ball and the line, and just use that to get your eyes really dialed in because sometimes the feel really isn't real. Like I feel like I'm aimed up right here, but you're really not. So getting that lined up and then just do speed drills. I would say speed drills have really helped for me. Just putt to a tee, you can be lined up right, but if you hit it 6 feet by or 6 feet short or whatever, you still got to grind out that 6 footer. So definitely just a lot of speed drills and getting that work done.
Yeah, I love that because this is 2 weeks in a row. Annabelle talked about the importance of putting. Maddie's talking about the importance of putting, and these are two women that are playing phenomenal right now on the Epson Tour. So, guys, I think we should obviously take that
And
to heart
breathing.
and start. And she did speak. Annabelle did
Both talk
talk
about
about
breathing.
speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some consistency here in what these high level professionals are talking about. Nate, do you have anything else for Maddie
Uh,
by any chance?
so I was just curious. So you've been playing pro golf for 8 years, and it sounded like you've been in the mini tour circuit, then Epson Tour, and then we're inching closer. I don't want to speak too soon, but we're getting close to the LPGA goal.
Yeah.
What is
Top
what
15,
is
man.
what's something you've learned about your game and over the last 8 years, and like what would you tell like a amateur athlete like me, what I should work on to get better so I could be closer to like your status?
Um, I definitely hone on your wedges. I think just getting those dialed in, hitting to a couple alignment rods, 50, 60, 70 yards, really getting those dialed in. And then a drill I personally love. I really did this a lot with my coach when I was younger. I would not leave the golf course till I hold out a bunker shot. and I still do it to this day, not every day, but I do it a lot. And then I would text him, my coach, the number. So some days it would be like 20, or some days it could be 75, some days it could be 1. I loved the 1 days, and I was like, well, I had a few more
Yeah.
just to just to
Yeah.
add a few more, but yeah, I don't think I think we underestimate the power of short game and what you can do, especially if you're out here missing greens, getting up and down and getting that to 3 or 4 feet and tapping it is definitely a game changer.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah,
Holding
that's
out
awesome.
I haven't hold out a bunker shot since like high school.
Yeah, I did one time like leisure play for birdie, and I was like, this is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
it's
super geeked.
no that tournament I got like third too, so I was like, man, maybe I should do that more. It's like it was. I felt like Gary Player, because Gary Player is like he had that story about he hold 2 bunker shots in a row. Um, but I guess like enough to go on that question, like what have you more or less learned about yourself over the past 8 years? Um, just grinding on these mini tours and stuff.
Yeah, golf's really not that important. In like the big scale of things, there's so much more to life than golf. So, I mean, I've just tried to put not so much pressure on myself, coming out my rookie year straight to the LPGA, and I was like, I have to prove myself. I have to make all of these cuts, I have to show up for all these sponsors and do all of these things. But golf really isn't that important in the big scale. So I think putting that into perspective um, has been really helpful. It's taken a lot of pressure off. And like the amount of relationships I've made on the Epson tour, I had so many girls congratulate me, stay and watch my final hole and celebrate with me
That's
was
awesome.
so awesome. So I think just the relationships and like the people that you meet and stuff like that is really, really amazing.
That's cool.
That's that's awesome. I kind of want to transition to the gospel portion of it because a lot of people can look at your story and be like, "Oh, Maddie just won," but they don't know about the 8 years of the grind
Yeah.
to get there. We like everyone sees the victory, but doesn't know anything prior to that. I just want to know like, what was your relationship with the Lord while trying to like grind and obviously get your first victory and get to like your breakthrough season? Because a lot of us are probably in that stage of life where we're just like, man, when am I going to get in the breakthrough? And we can lose heart, we can get impatient, but you've experienced 8 years of it and then finally get into it. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, yeah. I think I remember coming like out onto the LPGA tour, and my faith was there. It wasn't like something where like, I opened my Bible daily or anything like that. I had Amy Olson really kind of like help me. Great lady. Love her. I will shout her out anytime I can.
Big
But
time.
yeah, she's the best. So she kind of helped me, in my rookie year, inviting me to the Bible study out on tour, and that was great. That was kind of like really kickstarted my a bigger relationship with the Lord, and it was really great. Kind of, got difficult when I had wrist surgery, I would say, having to take a year off, being like, well, what does this mean? Does this mean I should quit? Like all of these different things. But my faith got even stronger then. I really had to open my Bible daily. I was teaching elementary PE, so I needed the Lord. Exactly what my parents did. So it was great then. This past couple years, I would say past year, it's been definitely harder, just not wanting to open the Bible. It's been a really, really weird season, and I hate to say that, but being
I'll
all
be
truthful,
transparent.
it's
Be transparent. Yeah.
yeah, like that's just what it is. It's just like it's not that the fact that I do not want to speak with the Lord or be near the Lord or anything like that. It's just like, man, I do not want this to feel like homework. And I remember talking to our chaplain, Chris Stevens, about it. I'm just like,
Chris, shout out to
this
Julia, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, she's great. And I was like, I don't know what's going on? Like I love the Lord, but I do not want to, feel like a grind. Like, why am I going to church on Sunday if I just like, if my heart is not there, if my posture is not correct? So lately, it's just been a lot of prayer for me, and worship music has been my saving grace. And I listen to it all of the time. I'll just sit there and cry listening to worship music, but that's something that's just been really, really beneficial to me. And I was jamming out, on the way to the golf course the last day to Josiah Queen, and we were praising the Lord, and it honestly that's been really, really great. And now my relationship has gotten even deeper. So it's been a
Amen.
journey.
Hey man, in regards to like again that 8 year of just grinding to get your victory, I believe in Second Chronicles 15:7 it says, "But hey, you take courage. Do not let your hands become weak. That your hard work will be rewarded." And I just want to encourage the audience that at some point you're going to see the fruits of your hard work come to life. It's just trying to have the patience in the season when we don't really see any fruits. But I encourage us, man, just continue to sow, and cultivate. And at some point, we will see the fruits of everything come to life. But I do kind of empathize with you a little bit. I've had seasons where it's like, bro, I don't feel like opening up the word because it feels too much like homework.
Yeah.
And the way I kind of combat that for me personally is I always tell myself, there are no fruits apart from his word. So that
Mhm.
kind of gives me the conviction, like, let me get in this word. Now, that's not to say I'm about to go in there and like deep dive, like, okay, I'm about to read like 3 chapters in Mark, and then I'm gonna go over to the
Yeah.
epistles and read this. But like, I had a homeboy, his name was Tariq, and he's always telling me, man, like, if you just read like 1 or 2 like verses a day, it's kind of like eating vegetables. Like if I eat broccoli, it's like it's doing something good to my body,
Yeah.
but we can't sustain on only eating broccoli. At some point, we gotta go eat chicken and stuff like that. And we have to continue to grow and get deeper into our desires of reading the word. But like, he always used to tell me, like man, like at least get some type of spiritual food. Like if you're
Yeah.
on the go right now, like okay, grab a Nutri-Grain bar. Nutri-Grain bar is going to give you some energy, but imagine if you sat there and ate like egg white omelet with avocado and stuff. It feeds you a little bit more. But I've always said, man, like scripture says, apart from me, we're nothing. So I'm like, man, there's no fruit in not reading your word. So that always convicted me. Let me at least just get in it a little bit, even if I'm having like this homework mentality. So I'm happy that you were transparent about that because I always had that mindset too, where it's like, I don't feel like reading the word, man, because I just feel like, do I have a test coming up? Apart from him, I'm nothing. And if John 1:1 says that he is the word, I need to make sure that I'm in his word. So yeah, I mean, Nate, do you have a take on that, man? Because I'm so happy Maddie said that because that's like, even though this is a gospel centric channel, we love talking about golf, but it's like I've had those hardships too. It's just like my Bible's been sitting there for a hot minute. It's like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Dude, no, I mean, I have those seasons all the time, dude. Because I'm also just not much of a reader. Like when it comes to like books, like I read a lot of like research articles just for my job.
He's a dog of a
But
PT. He won't admit it, but he's a
I'm
dog of a
just
PT.
I'm just a PT. But yeah, I'll read. It's like weird. I'll sit down and I'll read like 5 articles and it'll be fine. But then with my Bible, it's like hard. And I just remember when I was in college, like I was just like, I'm just gonna read little snippets. It's like exercise. So like there are studies that show that the bare minimum amount of exercise you need that will be beneficial for your health is like 4 minutes of high intense exercise a day, and that will yield like that will reduce your cancer mortality by like a significant amount. I forgot the amount. So I it's kind of like that's kind of how I think about it now. It's like if you do the bare minimum, it's so much better than doing nothing. And the bare minimum is actually a lot lower than people think. But even if you just read a verse or something like that, like you can still leave with a significant amount of encouragement.
Yeah.
Um, and just like it could just be your favorite verse over and over again, but you'll just kind of have a little like, I feel a little bit better about myself today. I feel like there is someone sovereign out there looking out for me, someone that loves me, and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's just kind of echoing your guys' point.
No, I love that exercise analogy. That is great. Like I can only because I have a I have an insecurity. It's like, bro, I don't want to be fat, so I want to go work out. Even if it's just like I'm gonna just do a little bit of something. Like I know there's benefit in that than not working out, dog. So Nate,
Yeah.
that was great, bro. That was great. Maddie, I want to leave you with one more question. So I asked Annabelle this, and I told Allie, I'm going to gas up the Carlisle Classic like it's a major for the Epson Tour. So obviously, you guys are about to head over to the West Coast. It's the highest purse.
Yeah.
I would love to know, and I'm not trying to have you skip because you go to California first, then Arizona, then to Vegas, right? Yes, I'm not
Yeah.
obviously trying to have you skip the California tournament, but I want to know like what's your mindset coming over to the West Coast swing and then preparing for the Carlisle Classic I believe the end of April to early May.
Yeah, so I was actually talking to somebody today, like asking like how I was feeling, like what's my next event. I'm just like, he was like, "Are you hungry for the next one?" I'm like, "Yeah, like more than ever." Like I want to just like keep it going. I was practicing today and grinding on a few things, but I'm so
Nice.
ready. Actually, before we go out west, I'm going down to Galveston to go qualify for the U.S. Women's Open.
Same thing. I got those dates.
So
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, so getting ready for that. I'm so excited for that. Would love to go play Riviera. Would be awesome. But honestly, mindset just keep going. Obviously what I did last week worked. Continuing the breathing, continue to rely on the Lord and just look for him out there all day on the golf course, just finding some peace and keep going with my putter.
That's awesome. See, the thing she's doing better than Victor Hovland, who also went to Oklahoma State, is she's not tinkering after winning. That's the problem I've
yeah,
always
just
had with
keep the
Victor Hovland.
momentum.
Victor Hovland won a tour championship, didn't rail the Ryder Cup. He said, you know what? Strip the whole thing. Let's change everything. And has not, I mean, he did win the Valspar last year, but he's not on the same trajectory he was after he won a tour championship, in my opinion. But Maddie, man, thank you so much for taking the time to come on here. Obviously, you been had a fan in me. I'm very excited to watch you doing the Carlisle Classic. Obviously, you're a favorite on the Epson Tour app. I'm gonna keep on refreshing, hoping that you continue to play well. And I'll see you soon when you get out here in Arizona.
Awesome. Can't wait to see you.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Bye.
See you
Yeah, see ya.
again, guys. Maddie McCrary, Epson Tour winner. Thank her for stopping by. But Nate, man, let's pick back up where we left off, man. So again, shout out to Gary Woodland. Again, inspirational win. But we got to talk about something that's not necessarily breaking news anymore. But Tiger Woods, man, gets a DUI. First off, gets in a car accident and then was charged with the DUI. And I want to just kind of go over his history in regards to these situations. 2017, found asleep at the wheel, DUI arrest. 2021, lost control and nearly double the speed limit, rolled over his SUV down a hillside, nearly lost his leg. 2026, arrested again, gets in a car accident, was charged with DUI. Nate, just what were your thoughts just getting this news and hearing all this stuff about Tiger?
Yeah, I just remember I was like, is he okay? Is he gonna play in the Masters? The main thing was his health.
Yeah.
And then I heard about the DUI because at first I just heard about that car accident. You know, I was at work, yeah, and I was like, "Is he okay?" I just please don't tell me he broke his leg again. That was my first thought. And then the DUI happened, and then I kept learning that it wasn't alcohol, so
Yeah.
who
Point zero
knows
zero.
what was going on? It looked like he was just done golfing. He did get detained, and then he got put out on bail. And
Was in jail for about 8
I,
hours, I think.
yeah, I don't know. It kind of makes honestly, it made me think of Scottie a little bit when he got.
Yeah, but Sky was definitely innocent though.
Yes, Scottie was absolutely innocent.
Yeah.
Who knows about Tiger, but maybe it's just because I think too highly of Tiger that I'm like, of course he's innocent, dude. Like,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I hope, I just, I do hope the best for Tiger. I am a little bit concerned about him and just what he's going through. Like, why was he driving? Why was he acting belligerently? That kind of stuff. So I hope he kind of gets that figured out.
I do too, man. I mean, first off, when I first saw it, I just saw like car accident, and then I'm like, man, I'm hoping he's okay as well as whoever was involved, And then when I heard it was a DUI, that's when I kind of like got upset with Tiger because, in my opinion, that's something you can control. If you are taking medication because your body's in pain or was prescribed, a lot of times we see medications say don't operate behind a motor vehicle during this. Tiger has all the money in the world, all the resources, family members that can drive him. And my opinion, again, from the comfort of my home, is I think Tiger has a pride issue. We look back at 2019 Masters, like Tiger can't win this, no way. Proves us wrong, wins 2019 Masters. So I think there's a lot of things where he's like, oh, the average person isn't capable of doing. He's like, well, I can do this. I can just simply drive home. And maybe he's gotten away with this before. And the Lord's grace is it's infinity, but like mercy can run out at some point, and I think at that point mercy ran out for him. And obviously it's hard to say it's a learning lesson because you've been through multiple lessons and you keep failing.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah, and I just really think it's a pride issue. And he thinks because I'm Tiger, like I know how to overcome the odds. A regular person can't operate a motor vehicle taking prescriptions, but I can. And maybe I can be wrong with that, but that's just my take. And as I was thinking about this in my head, thinking about if it's a pride issue, look at Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction and the haughty spirit before a fall. And you've been destructed, bro. Like you have fallen too many times. So
Sadly.
and the thing that I always think about too, man, like personally, one, I don't want to do anything that damages my character, mainly from a gospel standpoint. I want to make sure that I'm continuously reflecting the gospel. I want people to see Jesus through me. Don't see Jeremy, but see Jesus through me. But if some of you guys are like, well, I don't have a relationship with Jesus, we hope that you do. But if you don't have a relationship with Jesus, another mentality I had was like, I never want to put my mother in that situation. I don't want to do something crazy and it gets all in the tabloids and the reports and people are saying like, is that Michelle's son? I would never want to put my mom in that situation. So now I'm thinking about situations like, how is Charlie feeling? Like, oh, Charlie, look at your dad did this again. You know, it's some things are like that. It's unwanted distractions because, again, it's something that Tiger could have controlled. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I'm happy that he's physically okay. Obviously, there's some things maybe spiritually he's going through, mentally he's going through, that I hope that he has the humility to reach out and get help in regards to that. Now, in regards to the Masters situation, I mean, if he does play, that's still going to be a distraction because obviously I don't think he's, as before this comes out, I don't think he's addressed the media. I don't think he's tweeted or said anything. So at some point you get to the Masters, that's going to be a point of conversation when you're on that podium. And I'm sure his PR team is going to give him an answer that's whatever, not as distracting or just kind of digress the conversation. James 4:10, I believe, says, humble yourself before the Lord, he'll exalt you. I hope Tiger comes to find humility and we can see his life go on a more positive trajectory. Because one person asked me, you think his legacy is ruined? I'm like, absolutely not. His legacy is cemented. But his character is definitely, continuously taking a toll at 50. Yeah, you kind of hope he figures it out. And again, I'm happy no one else was hurt from that situation. But Tiger, you gotta lock in, bro. You gotta lock in. You need to, I would say this, you need to treat life like golf. The seriousness you have for golf and winning, you need to treat life that in the same manner. So that was just my thoughts, man. Going into the next tournament, the Valero. We're not going to break down the Valero in terms of 3 and 2 as me and Nate typically do, but we want to talk about some guys that we should be on the lookout who's playing, some guys who maybe on the fringe are playing the Masters, some guys that are playing the Masters, but like they need to play very well in this tournament to kind of figure some things out if they want to have an impact or be in contention at the Masters. So, Nate, let's go back and forth. Let me hear one of your players that you want to see do well at the Valero, or you think is on the fringe of making the Masters and you want to see them play well.
Dude, a guy you've brought up a lot is Ricky. I think I would like to see him in the field in April. April 8th.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has something to work on. Another guy, I don't think Scottie's playing in the Valero, but
no, he's not.
Like someone like Scottie, if he was in it, I'd be like, yo, we know that the driver has sucked the last couple of weeks, the last couple of events. Yeah. So maybe like this is the tournament where you experiment stuff with the driver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, is Brooks playing in the Valero?
Question.
Brooks has to lock in.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does have to lock in. He really. I mean, this is the thing. Brooks does need to lock in, but it's like I hate how much hate and pushback he got this week because he was playing good golf. He just went through like 3 or 4 strings of really good golf, and
he got like ninth at Sawgrass or something like that.
Then and we challenged him. Cosnet is like, okay, you got top 10, but like the field wasn't that strong. He's like, okay, watch what I do with the players, and played well.
Yeah.
And now that he didn't play this well, now it's everybody's like, you suck, or like he's washed. And it's like, what are we talking about? Like, and that's why I say I look at trends. I look at consistency. he was consistently playing really good golf, and then he had a lapse. So I'm not gonna say, yeah, he's trash, he's done, he's over. It's just, hey, I mean, you gotta get yourself figured out before you get to the Masters. But like, I think you still did some really good things. You can still continue to bid off of those things. But I do agree with you, Ricky. I said this last week. Very surprised he chose not to play in the Valspar. I believe at the time he was ranked, did not play, got pushed back to 61, and now he missed the cut. So now it looks like you're required to win to make it into the Masters field. I'm not sure if that was a decision by him from the Valspar not playing. I don't know if that was a decision by his team, but I was very confused on like, Ricky, why are you not playing, bro? Like, nothing's guaranteed for you. Or he could be dealing with an injury. And that's the thing when you're in, the media side of things. You can only speculate. You don't know what and I'm very keen on that, because when I was in the NFL and people used to see these reports like, oh, so and so have a problem with each other, I'm like, that is not true at all. So I try to affirm it, like, I don't know, this Ricky could be going through this. I can be totally wrong. That's why I always say that, because I don't know. However, Ricky, I was very confused why he didn't play in the Valspar. Unfortunately, he just missed the Houston Open. So now he has to go out there and win. Another person I want to talk about, and I'll let it get back to you, Nate, if you do have more people, is Colin Morikawa, playing phenomenal. Obviously, WD from the players citing back injuries, TGL playoffs. Unlike Rory, Colin said, I'm not playing because I'm not willing to hurt my back even more going into the Masters. So I think this is great to get a full tournament in to see if his body can withstand the rigorous activities of golf and walking 4 days, as opposed to trying to test it out at Augusta. Because let's say hypothetically, Colin goes and like plays the first round. He's like, oh, my back hurts. He can WD and get it figured out, as opposed to waiting, doing it in the Masters, and then like, I got to withdraw from the Masters, bro. I don't want to withdraw from the Masters. But Colin's been having a really good year. So he was one, and I'll say one more guy, and I'll let you go. I actually have like a bunch of guys, actually. Go ahead.
I forgot to talk about this because we're kind of going in and out with Maddie with
Yeah.
technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But what about Yella Miraju, dude? What about that guy just balling?
He is playing the
last
lefty.
couple
He is,
events. The lefty. The Canadian
Nate's a little lefty bias. Yeah, a little lefty bias, but he has been playing really good.
I don't think he's gonna have a chance to get in the Masters, but
no, but just shout out to him to how he's been playing.
But based off, this is the thing, is like how he does this year could put him in the Masters or other events, signature events or majors next year. So
someone might think you're worth the sponsor exemption.
Dude, I totally forgot to talk about that guy too. Yeah, but shout out to this guy who's been balling, and now it's kind of ruffling some feathers, making a little bit of noise,
Yeah, he's playing way better than the Johnny Kiefer, who did finish well this week at the Houston Open, but Johnny Kiefer was our Corn Ferry Player of the Year. There was comparisons to Scottie, which I think that is a reach, but their resumes did look similar. It did look similar. I just think comparing it to like GOATs so early, it's like a little risky. But I get it. It's kind of almost, you have to compare it to something. So I'm not going to be as hard giving pushback as when they do the Scottie Tiger comparisons. I'm like, all right, we got to slow down with that. Another guy, man, who I'm a fan of him as a golfer. Hasn't really looked good in the last 2 years, but his swag has improved a lot. Tony Finau, man, he's ranked outside the top 100, and he's in danger of missing for the first time since his debut in 2018. And kind of like what I said on the Backspin radio show, great golf radio show, guys. It was like Tony Finau, what they say, Tony Finau, what he finna do now? Because like he always like looks good in the beginning. And then, like, what he finna do? And then he, like, drops, like, 8 spots. I think at one point he was, like, top 12. I think he finished, like, T40 something. So, Tony Finau's another guy. Yeah. He's at risk of missing, and he has to win as well. I have 2 more guys. Do you have anybody else, Nate?
Let me check. I don't know. Like, I don't know if, like, Max Homa needs to work on something. But part of me is, like, I think Max Homa
has to play better.
Yeah. Well, a part of me is, like, I think he's just going to play good in the Masters.
He just does.
No matter where his game's at. Yeah. I think, and then it's going to go back to regularly scheduled programming. So, that's kind of a guy. The Finau, dude, that's a great take. There was a tournament, I forget, it was earlier this year, where he was like, after round 1, he was like 12th or like 7th. Like he was like close to the lead. And then the next time I checked, it was like, oh, he missed the cut. I was like,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's
I know what you're talking
exactly what.
about. It's
Yeah,
too bad. It's too many of those tournaments where it's that situation. But I do
dude, I
know
know.
what you're
It's like
talking about.
which one? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. Another guy I got too is guy we talked about him this weekend. Pearson Coody, man. He's the grandson of the 71 Masters winner Charles Coody. He's currently ranked number 51, so he's one spot out. But he did just withdraw this week with a back injury. So everything he's and we gotta do a study on these back injuries, man. Oh well, matter of fact, I'm sorry. I don't know if it was a back injury. I just know he withdrew. So stand correct with that. He did withdraw. However, man, what he was doing in the beginning of the year, him and Ryan Gerard are cooling off. But he needs a big showing at the Valero to get his foot inside the door at the Masters. And the last person I want to talk about, unfortunately, he's going to be relying on a special invite because he hasn't been as dominant as he was in previous years on Live, is Joaquin Niemann.
you could talk about
No,
AK.
nah. AK is, I think that's a long shot at this point. If AK would obviously won at Adelaide, and then let's say he just got a streak of like some top 12s,
Yeah,
he probably
South
got that
Africa.
special. He probably got those special
Yeah.
invites. But I think the last tournament that he played in, and unfortunately getting 55th, they're probably like it's not worth the invite.
Yeah,
But
with South
Joaquin
Africa
Niemann,
and Korea, he didn't really ball.
yeah,
So
he didn't. But Joaquin Niemann is someone he's not the face of Live, but he was always like, say this loosely, the Scottie of Live, because he was always constantly winning
7
like every
wins.
week. Yeah, in Live history. But he hasn't really been showing his dominance this year. So Joaquin Niemann might be another Live player or another player that might be missing out on the Masters as well, man. So guys, let us know in the comments, man. Who are someone that you want to see play well at the Valero? What's a big name? It's like, man, he's on the cusp. I really hope they get in. Would love to know your thoughts. Now, you kind of addressed this guy a little bit earlier, but I still want to talk to him. Scottie Scheffler withdrew from the Houston Open because of the birth of his second child, which he should 100% do. Good for you, Scottie, for having that conviction, saying golf is not more important than my family. That is 100% a thing that we should all do. However, when we're talking about sports, Nate, I want to know what's your thoughts on Scottie as he heads to the Masters. You kind of said a little bit. His driver's been a little weary. He hasn't been doing that well in round one. You would kind of hope that he used the Valero to kind of the Houston Open to kind of figure some things out. He's also not in the field at the Valero. Let me hear your take.
dude, and that's the thing is like you have to be good off the tee at Augusta if you want to do well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he can try to make up for it for some of his game, or if he can just be like, I'm gonna take 3-wood off the tee on most of the tee shots. But it's like, dude, Augusta's long. How are
It
you
is
gonna
long.
take 3-wood everywhere? So
Well,
man,
maybe for him, he's a phenomenal iron player, so maybe he's willing to risk
that's a good
that.
point.
Maybe he's willing to risk that.
Let's not forget when Bubba won it. It's not like he was hitting accurate drives when he was winning
No,
it.
he's wrapping around
But
trees and stuff.
But yeah, he was. I mean, he was hitting him, and maybe that's like we haven't seen a lot of that from Scottie because his play hasn't.
He's never in trouble.
That.
Yeah, he's never in trouble.
So and he's usually down the middle every time.
When we played with Ted Scott, he said that he was like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you to do from the trees because we're always in the fairway." He told me and my boy that.
Yeah. But still, like I no hate for him trying to. I mean, I think it's very noble to like step away from golf and go be with Meredith and his 2 kids because he's a daughter and a son now, right? Is that correct?
I was sure that I wasn't sure what the second one was. That's why I just said the birth of his second kid. But if it's a daughter, man, congrats.
My bad.
Yeah, if it is, it could be. I don't know. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance, so you don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
hope
still
it
remember like
wasn't cancel us for saying 50-50 because boy, girl, and then you got all this other stuff. But 50-50 chance if it's a boy or girl, yeah. But my thing with Scottie is, bro, I see it in 2 factors, man. As Scottie heads into the Masters, 2 things can happen. Fortunately, he can still have the rust of his driver and be kind of wayward with it. And you know at Augusta, if you don't hit certain spots, the shots can be difficult because Augusta's a little wider, so you can miss a little bit. However, I think on the other part of it, sometimes when you take time away from the sport, you kind of come back with this renewed mindset and you kind of start playing really good. Now, I don't know if
that's true.
that's also, yeah, that is true. So I don't know if Scottie's like, man, it's not good and I'm not playing because now I won't be able to figure out the rust with my driver and play in competitions. Or it's like, man, taking time away from golf, allowing me to reset, figure things out, and then he goes out in
blank
Augusta, he
slate.
balls out and blank slate. So those are my two thoughts
get
on Scottie. Yeah. However,
dude,
I mean,
if we
like I
get a
said,
blank slate Scotty,
Scottie.
dude, that's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah, it will be. But we'll figure out on the weekend how Scottie do. And I'm not going to recant my statement, what I said a few weeks ago. I'm like, man, if Scottie doesn't figure out his driver, he's at risk of missing the cut. Because obviously, if he's not doing well with his driver and he's barely making the cut for like just his invitational or, you know, Phoenix Open, like he made the cut, but his day one was bad. Like there is still some risk. And I know you guys hate when you don't attribute only greatness to Scottie's name, but I'm just watching the tape. If he doesn't get the driver figured out, even though Augusta's a little bit more wider, but he's not hitting those certain spots, he can be at risk of missing the first round.
yeah, dude. You have to be good with your driver.
You have to in a long course. However, like I said too, he takes his time away. Maybe this guy comes back like, I just feel brand new, and he's going to ball the heck out.
Dude,
And he's
think about
won
it
there
like this.
twice. He's won there twice. So he knows the course.
Well, think about it like this: his first event of the season, win, like after a break.
American Express. Yeah.
Yes, but I see what you're saying too. Is like, what if he thinks about it more? What if he goes on the tee and is like, I don't trust this club. Like that's the worst if you go over a shot and like I don't trust this club, especially at a place like Augusta where. Like if link styles, like if you miss, you're just gonna go on the other fairway. Whereas in Augusta, if you miss, you're in some crap, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I could see it. That's so funny. Like I could see it both ways. You know,
it goes both ways. Again, let me hear y'all thoughts on my Scottie take. And again, some of y'all are just gonna automatically disqualify because I just said Scottie's name and I didn't glaze him. But I think there's some truth to what I said, and I would love to know your thoughts. Hey, let's move over to the LPGA. Obviously, the score will then come out by the time this podcast comes out. But currently, looking at the update, Hyo Kim is back up 4 strokes, bro.
Oh,
I don't
no
know,
way.
I don't know if Nelly made a mistake and got bogeys or AJ just like turned it on like I'm gonna need make a couple eagles and some birdies because she got that double. Go
I
ahead.
think Nelly was minus 24 at one point, and now she's minus 23. And then
Oh, okay. I don't know if my update's being slow because I got Nelly at minus 24 and HJ at minus 28 through 15.
This is 315 too. Weird.
Yeah, dog.
HJ Kim.
She's a dog, bro. I like Hyo Kim because she just simply knows how to she knows how to recover after a mistake. It doesn't go downhill for her.
Dude, Nelly bogey 15.
Is that
dude. That's the par 3 where we saw the hole in one. Dude,
yeah. How is she bogey that? I'm very curious.
I wonder if it was like last week on hole 17 when she missed that little lip out.
Oh, lip out.
That's kind of what I'm thinking because Nelly hits 2 good irons, and that's not a long hole.
It's not.
That's not a long hole. So, I wonder if it was a lip out. It also could be like she hit it in one of the bunkers, you know?
Yeah. Interesting. Wow. So, I mean, obviously by the time this comes out, we're going to know who won. But if Hyo Kim can win back-to-back weeks against world number 2 Nelly in the same pairing group, that's some discussions. There are some discussions.
I'm not going to lie. This, you know what this Ford Championship looks like? It looks like Gary Woodland winning at the Houston Open. That's what this looks like. Like, it's like, because like,
why do you think that? Because Hyo Kim's trying to defend the title. She won this last year.
No. It's because of the gap. Like, Hyo Kim was way ahead going into today.
Was she a 4-stroke starting off? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I think Nelly was 20.
She's up 5 now, and she's up 5 now. She has Nelly by 1.
HJ she's a dog, bro. She's a dog, man. Mm-hmm. They never were in contention besides
but
Hogarth.
It was like but it's like if Woodland wasn't there, they're playing for first, and this is kind of like with Nelly. It's like if Hyo Joo Kim wasn't there, Nelly would have won. Nelly would have won the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
You know, and I think Hyo Joo Kim is putting some nerves on Nelly because probably, dude, you would have never saw Nelly 3-putt from 15 feet last week.
No,
no, and like that. I think like the nerves is like, oh shoot, am I about to let this number 1 spot go? But it's not even like Hyo Joo Kim is number 1 or in contention of like dethroning Nelly for silver medal, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it could go back to what I said. I said, Nelly, I need to see you do it in 72. You have not done it in 72.
Dude, well, but Hyo Joo Kim would have been won both weeks in 54 too. So
Yeah, that's also true, man. But yeah, so let's talk about the LPGA again. We hope you, the guys in the audience, man, respect women's golf. It was a fun weekend when me and Nate were out there watching the
yeah, that was
LPGA.
awesome.
But one thing I do want to address that has already been talked about: Lydia Ko fires a 60, which has the only round to ever be done, being a 60 since the 2010. And it's sad that the LPGA missed out on any footage or any like hypeness
Highlights.
around it. It kind of just happened.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, like let's just post a scorecard, or like, oh shoot, like she shot 60. And it's very disappointing because I said if Lydia Ko's name was Nelly Korda, it would have been all over everywhere promoting that she was on 59 alert. And it's disappointing too because first off, I believe Lydia Ko's only 28, 29 years old, and she's a Hall of Famer. So why is there not a sense of attention in that on that situation? I can understand if it's like someone who barely got in the field or like you're below 50 ranked player, you might miss out on some of that film. But Lydia Ko is like, why are we missing out on things? And this is the second time, and I say this with a loving heart because I love the LPGA. I watch the LPGA just as much as I watch the PGA, but like, man, the first week canceling the final round, only playing 54. The fans of the LPGA had an issue with that. The media of the LPGA had an issue with that. And now you don't really showcase Lydia Ko on 59 alert, and we have a problem with that. Because the only person who's ever shot 59 on the LPGA is Annika at Moon Valley out here in Arizona. The only place where Nate also got a hole-in-one. But it's just like what are we doing? And I seen someone kind of issue an apology. It was like, we missed them. We'll get it next time. It's like that seemed very like half-hearted. We missed it. We'll get it next time. And I've said this before. There are more players on the LPGA outside of Nelly Korda and Charlie Hull that are very good that also deserve attention. I'm not saying digress from giving your two faces attention, but when someone to the status of a Lydia Ko is on 59 alert, you find a way to like hype that up because it's Lydia Ko. So that was one of my only issues I kind of like had throughout the weekend. And it's funny because we didn't really know because because I was physically there. But like when you go back and like look up like what happened throughout the day, you don't see anyone hyping up 59 alert. Like it was just crazy.
Yeah, dude, I will 100% echo that. Like that was like I wanted to see some of the putts she made. Like if she had a long putt, granted, like I know they don't have cameras on every hole of the LPGA, but there was definitely footage of some of her birdies. You know what I'm saying? She birdied like every other hole.
Yeah, they were so late posting that stuff. So late.
Yeah. So
I
wish we just saw more of that.
Absolutely. So here's a list of other LPGA golfers that shot 60. Meg Mallon, Hall of Famer. She did it at the 2003 Welch's Fry Championship. Sarah Lee in the 2004 Welch's Fry Championship. I'm going to assume that course is easy. Annika Anchor Moscasco, 2004 Long Drugs Challenge. These are some funny names. Paula Creamer, 2008 Jamie Farr Owens Corning. Jessica Korda actually shot 60 at the 2021 Diamond Resort TOC. Lucy Lee, 2024 Walmart Northwest Arkansas tournament. And Lena Strom, 2024 ShopRite LPGA. And then Lydia Ko, 2026 Ford Championship, also shot 60. So, she's obviously in the field of other greats. Again, she's already a Hall of Famer. Like, there's nothing else you can add to her resume. But again, because of who she is, and like I said, it's not like I can understand. It's like in a sports perspective, like she's 37 on her way out. But it's kind of the analogy I told you, Nate. Let's say if Tom Brady is just balling out, NFL's going to cover Tom Brady, even though we already know he has a Hall of Fame resume. He's still playing for the Bucs. We're going to cover Tom Brady, but we know that the face of the league now is Patrick Mahomes. So it was just very, very disappointing that they didn't choose to feature Lydia Ko when she was on that 59 watch.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but as the LPGA is continuing, like at some point we're going to figure out who the winner is, or when this gets posted, you guys will know already. But continue to keep up with the LPGA. It's some talent out there, and I feel so inspired to continue to grind in my golf game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break 80. And if you guys can go check out my golf game at Golf and Gospel. So Nate, first year ever, co-sanctioned event, $4 million purse, partnership with the Golf Scottie as a part of the LET PIFF Global Series. Bring in both the LPGA and the Let together to play in Vegas. This course at Shadow Creek, 6,765 yards, pretty long for LPGA course. Yes, yes. So, Nate, do our normal thing. 3-2. Who do you think has a good chance of winning next week, as well as who are your two dark horses? Matter of fact, I'll start us off because you kind of already told me that you're going to steal my answer, even though you're not stealing my answer. But I've been talking about this LPGA golfer for the longest, and she is the best female golfer in golf right now. I want Hannah Green. Most wins in women's golf so far this year. She won on the LPGA. She won 2 on the LET. She's 6th in strokes gained total, 5th in green regulation, 6th in putts per green regulation, and she's 3rd in strokes gained putting. You mix all that up in the oven, that's a recipe for winning. So I like Hannah Green. And you obviously H.J. Kim. Who else has won? H.J. Kim has won. Obviously Nelly won at 54.
Gino.
Y'all got the LPGA runs through Hannah Green. That's what I'm gonna say. The LPGA runs through Hannah Green, and that's aggressive, but she's playing some good golf. I'm going to say that, and I hope that Hannah she proves me right. But it runs through her right now.
Yeah, she's one of my picks too.
Yeah,
pretty much the same reason. And she's consistent. So I think even if she's not winning, she finishes high. So she contends. Yeah. I don't know.
I would love to hear about her also. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I feel like we're stupid for not picking Hyo Joo Kim. But it's like, for me, I'm like, it's hard to be like, she's going to win 3 in a row.
I'm still picking her, and I have a reason why.
Okay. Sorry. What were you about to say?
Well, I was going to say, man, I'm very curious on what Hannah Green did this offseason because CME Championship, she finished 51st. Then she just comes out because like the LPGA offseason is not that long, so it's like
so late in the year.
Yeah, so it's almost like, man, your challenges can still carry over into the next season because it's so short. But from finishing 51st in the CME Tour Championship to now winning 3, it's crazy work. So I'm very curious on what she did in the offseason. Or obviously we heard from Annabelle and Maddie, like, man, breathing's helped. Wedge plays important. Putting's important. And obviously I just said she's 6th in putts per green regulation and she's 3rd in strokes gained putting. So short game probably was something she emphasized on through the short offseason that she had.
Yeah, for sure. I bet it's just wedges and putters. But
yeah, big time. The next person I got is Hyo Yoo. I like trends. I'm staying with my formula.
Her too, but I didn't.
Yeah, I like trends. So we look at the Hilton Garden Vacation, the 54-hole live tournament that the LPGA played in. She finished with a T9th. Honda LPGA Thailand, she finished T10th. The HSBC Women's World Championship, she finished 6th. And then the Fortinet Founders, she finished T5. And I believe this week I think she finished in the top 25. So she's playing really good golf, and she just moved to Vegas in 2025. So I think she's had a year to like
home field.
Home field. She has some time to acclimate it, and also she's the #1 ball striker on tour. And out of the top 17 players, she's played the most holes, and she's 3rd in GIR. So the irons and wedges are working really good for her. So I feel like she's kind of having like a Matt Fitzpatrick type season because she's dominant in all these other categories, but unfortunately she's ranked 132 in putting. So if she can do like Matt Fitzpatrick, get to like 50, I think we could see Hyo Yoo, win in Vegas.
Matt Fitzpatrick's winner this year on tour.
He's a winner, so. Yeah. And all he did was get, I think that week when he won at the Valspar in the field, he was ranked 42. So he didn't have to be amazing, but he was doing so well in everything else. It helped contribute to a win. So I think Hyo Yoo just being the top 50 putting, I think you can win. Yeah.
And let's also put this in perspective. If you're 40th strokes gained putting on tour, that's a pretty freaking good putter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So
my philosophy when I'm picking, I think like if you're top 40, top 30 in anything, that's a recipe for success. Because I always think how many people play in the tour championship? 30. Yeah. I always look if you're in the top 30. You're that's a recipe for success. Being in the top 30 statistically, and in majority of your categories, then I think that's a recipe for success.
Yeah. But anyways, so my second pick, I guess, is going to be Minjee Lee. She's 4 strokes gained total, #2 putter on tour. Yeah. I remember several weeks ago, I can't remember what tournament it was. I thought her putter was super hot with the broomstick, and the announcer, Grant Boone, was talking about how her switch to the broomstick was
I've been the Founders Cup up in the Bay
Yeah,
Area.
the
Yeah,
LPGA Founders
yeah,
Cup. Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Um, so she was putting really well. Historically, pretty strong ball striker. Um, the other thing too is like I wanted to pick really good players off the tee, and I don't know if she's amazing off the tee, but she's
Mhm.
formidable off the tee. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but yeah, that's my number 2 pick.
yeah. And I already said it. I'm picking Hyo Kim, and I'm not going off recency bias. I'm just going with she's playing amazing on the West Coast swing. Vegas is on the West Coast. She's kind of found something going in regards to that.
She has found
Yep.
something.
Currently, as we speaking, she's averaging under par 68.5 in scoring average. Her short game has been phenomenal. I think if she's anywhere under 50 yards, she is liable to get an eagle or get a birdie. If she's on the green, she's off the green. And obviously, we look at the Ford Championship. I forgot which hole it was when she got the double bogey, but she just found ways to like birdie and get back in contention. Now, as we're speaking, she's up 4 or 5 strokes, but her short game has been super good. And I kind of watched a little bit of I think it's what's the thing by Capital One. I watched Tiger and Phil play because it was at Shadow Creek to kind of get familiar with how the course looks, and I think it just matches Hyo Kim's game. So
Oh, I honestly think at this point any course matches her game. I just feel like when you play that kind of golf, it's hard to it's hard to do poorly, dude. Like her putter must be ridiculous. It like
like I
don't
said,
put it in your car 'cause it might-
she was chipping in a couple like birdies too. That's what I'm saying. Like anything within
Dude, that's
50s,
great,
like
that's great.
yeah.
I'm like, her putter's so hot. Just don't put it in your car because your car might combust. You know.
Shout out to Hyo Kim.
Anyways, my third pick is gonna be Lydia because I'm kind of rooting for her now based off how she's doing this week, and I kind of want to see, hey, will the LPGA capitalize on an opportunity if
Yeah.
Lydia gets super hot again? She's number 6 strokes gained total and number 8 in putting. She's still ranked. So again, driver, I think it's a long course, and I don't think it's going to be a necessarily a birdie fest. But if you can be decent off the tees and roll some putts, I think you'll have a pretty contending a contending score. So her only weakness in her game is her driver, but it's still again like it's like above 40, and it's like
Yeah. Good
dude,
take.
if you're 40th ranked driver on tour, you're pretty freaking good. You're pretty freaking good off the tee, you know. So, so yeah, that's gonna be my third pick.
Good take, man. Like that take. So my dark horse. So obviously we look at LPGA. They have the CME race. On the LET, they have what's called the Order of Merit, which is a season-long competition to crown the Ladies European Tour #1 player, just like the CME. And since they're combining the field with LET players as well as LPGA players, I'm going to go with the #2 player in that category, and that's Mimi Rhodes. She had the top 10 this year already, but she's showing how good she's playing also in Arizona currently on this West Coast swing.
Yeah, she's like
As I
right now.
Yeah, so Mimi is T6, still playing. She's through 16. She went 9 under in round 3. So #2 player on LET, playing good golf right now in Arizona. I think Mimi Rose has a good chance of, showing dominance in Vegas as my dark horse.
Yeah, dude. So I wanted to pick this girl, but it looks like she's an alternate. But Frida Kinholt is tied with her, and I watched Frida Kinholt because she was paired with my former patient Steph Meadow. And when I watched Frida, I was like, dude, this girl bombs it. But Frida was like, the only thing was she needed to be more consistent in her game. But anyways, so since she's not in it, my dark horse is going to be, I don't know if this is a dark horse, but I'm going to pick Lindy Duncan because we followed her for a good amount of holes.
Yeah.
And now she gained a fan. We met her mom, Debbie.
Her mom was sweet, yeah.
Yeah. And raised 2 daughters that are just, one girl's on the LPGA, one's like an accountant for like the military or something like that.
Yeah.
And so just high achieving daughters. So good job, Debbie.
Yeah.
But Lindy, dude, she was great when we were watching her putting, her touch around the greens was unbelievable. I think when it's a course that I don't like, we don't know because there hasn't been a tour event there.
Yeah.
But I anticipate it to not be a huge birdie fest. So if you can kind of control your mistakes, just kind of like what Maddie's talking about, if your touch is good, that'll kind of clean up your putting a little bit. And her touch was fantastic compared to a lot of the other girls we were seeing blowing it by the hole with their wedges and with their putter. So I think she'll have a good chance to contend. She contended this week as well. So talking about trends, Jeremy loves trends. She played really well this week. I think she's like in the top 10 right now as we speak, or near it.
Let's check, Lydia. Hey, Roseanne. Shout out to my dog Roseanne. She's T8 right now.
Yo, let's go.
Lady Duncan is T15, finished with 14 under. She went even today. Yeah.
So top 15.
Yeah.
Top 15 finish.
Great finish.
This week, yeah.
Great finish.
But
yeah,
absolutely. I was very impressed with her game. So
yeah. My last dark horse is Lucy Lee. She actually moved to Vegas last year as well. She actually played at this course, Shadow Creek, in like some type of match play event. So she got a head start playing here. I'm sure a lot of other LPGA players have played there, but doing my research, like who's from Vegas, who stays in Vegas. Roseanne actually just moved to Vegas too. She's told us that at the end of the round 3, but we're not sure if Roseanne's gonna get in the field. We'll hope that Roseanne gets in the field because she's playing really good. I think she's 8th right now currently. So that would be one of my picks if it was a guarantee. But currently she's not guaranteed in the field. But yeah, I like Lucy Lee. Moved to Vegas last year, played at Shadow Creek, so knows the course pretty well. And she's made all her cuts this year. So again, another recipe for a dark horse to potentially, get a victory on the LPGA this year. So you got one more, right?
Yeah, I got one more. I mean, this is the thing with Roseanne potentially getting in is like with how contagious these back injuries are.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's been a PGA thing though, so I don't know if it's been.
I know that's the thing.
LPGA. Yeah.
I don't want to wish that upon these ladies.
For sure.
Though,
Yeah, absolutely not.
Like with dudes, like, all right, you guys can handle it, but with ladies, like, no, that's not.
No,
wish that upon
we don't want that. You don't, especially after what Roseanne just went through last year, all the neck stuff. Like, I want her to be at full health, and kind of recapture, the momentum she had when she first got into the LPGA.
Well, I was saying like. Wish that someone else gets a back injury so Roseanne gets in. Yeah. But I don't want anyone to get a back injury.
Right.
Unless they're on the PGA Tour, whatever.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, PGA Tour has better payouts too for injuries too. That's besides the point.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. My dark horse is going to be Julia Lopez Ramirez because we followed her for like 2-3 holes, and
she's like on the top 3 longest drivers on tour too. Last year she was for sure.
Last year she was number 1 or 2 for distance.
Yeah.
And now she's 4th, and I wonder if she's just trying to control it. But so this is a long course. I don't anticipate it to be birdie fest. I could be wrong. We have no idea because there's no tour event there.
Yep.
But she's 4th in strokes gain approach to green. So
wedge play.
Sorry, hang on. My sister just called me and I disconnected. All right, I think we're back. Okay.
Yep, you're good. You hear me? I hear you.
But anyways, I can't. The only thing is I can't hear you.
Check.
Anyways, Julia is 4th in strokes gain approach to green. The only thing is her putting and her around the greens are ranked slightly over 100. But I think that'll be okay because it won't be a birdie fest. But hang on, I'll refresh.
Okay, check. You hear me?
We're back.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think that's a good take on her. Yeah, I'm very curious. I can't wait to just watch Thursday just to kind of get a little bit more analysis of the course from a LPGA's perspective. Like I said, if everyone can go back and watch Tiger and Phil face off at that course when they did the Capital One match play to kind of get an idea, because that's what I did to kind of like study it a little bit. But yeah, very curious. First one, IF. I mean, hey, maybe start a live, get these women paid more. This is a huge purse for them, $4 million. So shout out to them. Yes, big time. And currently, as we're sitting here, we're about to conclude. Everyone, I mean, Hyo Joo Kim's up 4 strokes to Nelly through 16. So you got the par
Two
5
holes left to
17,
go.
par 5
Yeah.
17, and the par 4 18 to see how it
18's
turns
not
out.
hard too.
It's not a
Yeah.
hard. She's probably 3 wood off the tee. She can finish. Well, it depends on what Nelly does. She can finish with bogey and win back to back.
I know,
So
dude. Well,
yeah,
17's not hard either. Get a
yeah,
par on 17. On 18, it's right next to 1, so it's just know you can miss left.
yeah. Well, there are white stakes on the other side that do
Oh,
count
that's right.
against
My
18.
bad.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot about that. I forgot the
yeah,
LPGA does that. Yeah.
yeah. So I was
Can't
just
make it
like,
too easy for these ladies. Yeah.
yeah. So the only reason why I realized that, so the homie Will, who caddies for Roseanne, was like, "Yo, what are these white stakes for on 1?" And he's thinking like, "Yo, is that OB for 1?" Because that would make me that's a tight fairway if you made the OB for 1. And then someone said, "No, that's OB for 18." I'm like, "All right, that's not bad." But yeah, we're pretty sure that HJ Kim's going to come out with another victory back to back week. So congrats to HJ Kim. I mean, maybe if something crazy happens and we hang up and we figured out that Nelly won, that would be crazy. But I don't see HJ making any mistakes, and she doesn't have to. She can literally play 4-minute offense, close this out, take a knee, and go on to next week to play in Vegas. So we appreciate you guys watching this episode of Golf and Gospel Podcast or listening to Golf and Gospel Podcast. Please, again, comment, like, subscribe, all the good things, man. Me and Nate do a lot of homework. We bringing in all these guests. Just I won't say appreciate it because that sounds kind of conceited, I guess, but like just kind of see the hard work that we're putting in to this. Our shorts and our reels do amazing, but let's show some love to like the long form content, if you will. So we'll see you guys next week to break down the freaking Masters. We're gonna come with some heat.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, after the Valero,
Next was
man.
Easter too, so happy Easter.
Yeah,
Everybody.
yeah. Happy Easter as well as happy
Palm
Palm
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.